Sister told my boyfriend I cheated on him. He asked her for proof, and she had none. We're engaged now. My sister's voice is coming through my boyfriend's phone on speaker, loud and bright like she's delivering gossip at brunch, and I'm standing in the hallway outside our bedroom with a laundry basket in my arms, frozen mid-step because I just heard my own name followed by the words, "I didn't want to tell you, but you deserve to know." My boyfriend, Noah, has his brows pinched together, one hand braced on the kitchen counter, and he looks at me like he's trying to figure out if the floor is about to drop out from under him. The air in the apartment feels suddenly thin, like it's been sucked out. My sister keeps going, voice trembling in this fake, concerned way she uses when she's about to light a match and walk away. She cheated, she says. I saw messages. I saw enough. Please don't confront her yet. I couldn't live with myself if I didn't say something. I take one step forward and my knees wobble like they've forgotten how to hold me up. The laundry basket bumps my hip, and I tighten my grip like that will stop my hands from shaking. Noah's eyes flick to me, then back to the phone, and I can see the conflict in his face, shock, hurt, confusion, and that horrible instinct people have to believe the person who sounds confident. My sister pauses dramatically, like she's waiting for him to thank her. Noah's voice is quiet when he speaks, but it's firm. Okay, he says, tell me what proof you have. The word proof hits me like a slap because it's the first lifeline in the whole moment. My sister makes a small sound, almost offended. Noah, she says, why would I lie about this? My throat burns. I want to snatch the phone. I want to scream. But my body does this weird thing it always does when my sisters start a fire. My mind goes blank and my skin goes hot, like my nervous system has learned to brace for impact. Noah doesn't raise his voice. He doesn't accuse. He just repeats, slower, like he's talking to someone trying to dodge the question. I'm not saying you're lying, he says. I'm asking what proof you have. Screenshots, names, dates, anything. There's a beat of silence long enough that I can hear the fridge hum. My sister laughs, sharp and defensive. Are you serious? She snaps. You're asking me for receipts like I'm on trial? Noah's jaw tightens. If you're telling me my girlfriend cheated, he says, then yeah. I'm asking for proof. It was a Tuesday night about 8 months ago when I realized my sister wasn't just dramatic or protective the way my family always described her. She was actively invested in making sure I didn't have anything she couldn't control. I didn't have a neat epiphany. It was a slow, ugly awareness built from small moments that kept adding up until I couldn't pretend they were coincidences anymore. My sister, Lana, is older than me by 3 years and has always carried herself like she's the main character in every room. Growing up, she was the one my parents worried about because she was sensitive and intense. I was the one they didn't worry about because I was easy, which really just meant I learned early that being low maintenance got you praised. Lana learned early that being loud got you attention. She's the kind of person who cries in public and then checks to see who's watching. She's also the kind of person who tells you she's looking out for you while quietly cutting the rope when you're climbing. When I met Noah, I didn't tell Lana much at first, and that wasn't an accident. Noah was calm, steady. He asked questions and actually listened to the answers. He didn't flirt like it was a performance. He didn't love bomb. He didn't play games. After years of watching my sister's relationships explode in spectacular ways, cheating accusations, dramatic breakups, screaming matches in parking lots, Noah felt like the opposite of everything my nervous system was used to. It was like dating someone who didn't treat emotions as currency. Lana hated that immediately. The first time she met Noah, she wore a dress that looked like it belonged in a nightclub, showed up 40 minutes late to dinner, and spent the entire meal telling stories where she was either the victim or the hero. Noah was polite. He asked her questions. He didn't compete. Lana kept glancing at me like she was waiting for me to be embarrassed. When Noah stepped away to use the bathroom, Lana leaned across the table and whispered, "He's nice. Too nice. Are you sure he's not boring?" I shrugged. "I like boring," I said. Lana's eyes narrowed. "No," she said, like she was correcting me. "You think you like boring? You'll get tired." It was such a small exchange, but it sat in my chest like a warning. Over the next few months, Lana started doing this thing where she'd casually plant doubts. She'd say, he seems controlling because Noah asked me to text when I got home safe. She'd say, he's probably hiding something because Noah didn't have social media. She'd say, men like that always snap because Noah didn't argue back when she baited him. If I pushed back, she'd flip into the concerned sister routine. I'm just looking out for you, she'd say, eyes wide. Don't get defensive. There is always this underlying message. I know better than you. I see things you don't. You need me. Noah noticed before I admitted it to myself. One night, after a family lunch where Lana spent half an hour talking about how men always cheat, Noah drove me home in silence. When we got to my place, he didn't turn off the engine right away. He looked at me and said, gently, "Does she always talk to you like that?" My stomach tightened. Like what? I asked, though I knew. Like you're not capable, he said, choosing his words carefully. Like she's the authority on your life. I stared at my hands in my lap and felt that familiar loyalty rise up, defend Lana, minimize it, keep the peace. She's just intense, I said. She means well. Noah nodded slowly. Okay, he said, but makes you smaller when she does it. I can see it. That sentence made my throat burn because it was true. I did shrink around Lana. I always had. It was like my body remembered childhood rules. Don't trigger her, don't steal attention, don't make mom cry. The Tuesday night I mentioned was the night Lana called me at 11 p.m. crying. I was half asleep, Noah next to me, and I answered because she only calls that late when she wants something. She posted you, Lana sobbed. Who? I said, sitting up. Your friend, she said, sniffling dramatically. The one from work. She posted you and Noah, and people are commenting. And I don't want you to get hurt. I blinked, confused. Lana, what are you talking about? She tagged you. Lana said like tagging was a felony. And your ex is going to see. And then he'll message you. And then Noah will get jealous. And it'll blow up. I can just feel it. I stared into the dark, trying to process. Lana, I said slowly, Noah isn't jealous. And my ex isn't relevant. Lana sniffed. You're naive, she whispered. You think everything is fine until it isn't. Noah shifted beside me and opened his eyes. He reached for my hand under the blanket, grounding me. Lana kept spiraling on the phone, manufacturing a disaster out of a harmless photo, like she needed chaos to feel important. After I hung up, Noah said quietly, she's trying to stress you out. I snapped, too quickly, she's my sister. Noah didn't argue. He just said, I know. That's the kind of person he is. He doesn't try to win against my family. He tries to hold me steady while my family spins. Still, I didn't set boundaries. Not properly. I told myself Lana would calm down. I told myself she'd adjust once she saw Noah and I were solid. I told myself family is family and you don't cut people off. Then came the cheating accusation call. The one on speaker. The one where Lana finally stepped over the line she'd been tiptoeing around for months. When Noah asked her for proof, Lana reacted like he'd betrayed her. I'm trying to help you, she said, voice suddenly icy. And you're interrogating me. Noah didn't budge. What did you see, he asked. Where did you see it? Lana's tone shifted into vague certainty. I saw messages, she said. On her phone. I felt my whole body go rigid. That's a lie, I said, finally finding my voice, and it came out rough. Noah held up a hand, not to silence me, but to signal he was handling it. His eyes stayed on the phone. When did you see your phone? Noah asked. Lana hesitated. When she was in the bathroom at Mom's, she said quickly. It lit up. I almost laughed because it was so flimsy. So you saw a notification, Noah said, and you decided it was cheating. It was a man's name, Lana snapped. Noah's voice stayed calm. What name? Silence again. Then Lana said, I don't remember. Noah's jaw tightened. If you're calling me to say she cheated, he said, you remember the name. Lana got defensive. Why are you taking her side? She demanded, and the mask slipped fully. This wasn't about protecting Noah. This was about controlling the narrative. If Noah believed her, she won. If he questioned her, she was losing power. Noah glanced at me, and in his eyes I saw something that made me feel both safe and sad. He was already choosing fairness over drama. He was already refusing to be pulled into her game. Lana, Noah said, "Send me screenshots." "I don't have them," she snapped. "Then you don't have proof," he said. Simple as that. Lana's voice went sharp. "You're going to regret trusting her." Noah paused, then said, "Lana, I'm going to ask you one more time. What proof do you have?" Lana's breath came through the phone like she was offended by oxygen. "None," she spat. "Fine. You want to be stupid, be stupid." Then she hung up. The silence after was heavy, like the room itself was stunned. Noah turned off speaker and set the phone down slowly. I stood there still holding the laundry basket like it had fused in my arms. My mouth opened, but nothing came out at first because my brain was trying to catch up to what had just happened. Noah looked at me, and his voice softened. "Hey," he said, "come here." I walked toward him on legs that felt borrowed. The moment his arms wrapped around me, I started shaking. Not sobbing, just trembling like my body had been holding back panic and finally let it slip. I whispered into his shoulder, and it sounded pathetic, like I needed him to know, even though he already did. Noah rubbed my back. "I know," he said. "I know you didn't." I pulled back just enough to look at him. "You believe me that fast?" I asked, and there was something raw in my voice I didn't like. Noah's eyes were steady. "I didn't believe you blindly," he said. "I listened. I asked for proof." She had none. "And also, I know you. You're not secretive. You're not slippery." Your sister sounded like she wanted a reaction, not like she had facts. Hearing him say that, "I know you," felt like someone putting a warm hand on a bruise. Then my anger arrived, late but intense. "She lied," I said, my voice rising. "She tried to ruin us." Noah nodded. "Yeah," he said quietly. "So what do you want to do?" That question was everything, because it put the power back in my hands. Noah wasn't telling me to cut her off. He wasn't demanding a dramatic boundary. He was asking what I wanted, like my choices mattered. And I realized, in that moment, that I didn't know what I wanted because I'd spent my whole life reacting to Lana instead of deciding anything for myself. The next day, Lana texted me like nothing happened. "Hey babe, just checking you're okay. No apology. No acknowledgement." Just that casual tone, like she hadn't tried to detonate my relationship over a notification she didn't even remember the name of. My hand was shaking when I typed back, "What you did was disgusting. Don't contact Noah again." Lana replied instantly, "Wow, so you're choosing a man over your sister." I stared at that text until my vision blurred with rage. Because it was always that with Lana. If I had a boundary, it was betrayal. If I had an independent relationship, it was abandonment. I didn't respond. I just blocked her. Blocking my sister felt like stepping off a cliff. My whole body expected consequences. And I got them, of course. Mom called crying. Dad texted that I was ungrateful. My brother said she was just worried. Lana messaged me from a different number, then from Instagram, then through our cousin, telling everyone Noah was controlling me, that he was isolating me, that I was brainwashed. Noah didn't react. He didn't message her. He didn't argue with my family. He just stood beside me and asked, "Do you want me to come with you if you talk to your parents?" We did talk to them, eventually, because I couldn't handle the family group chat going nuclear. We went to my parents' place on a Sunday afternoon, and the air in their living room was thick with tension. Lana was there, of course, perched on the couch like she was the injured party. When Noah and I walked in, Lana's eyes flicked over him, then me, and she did this little wounded sigh like she was performing for an audience. Mom started immediately. "Lana was only trying to protect you," she said, looking at me like I was being unreasonable. She thought she saw something. "No," I said, and my voice came out stronger than I expected. She didn't think she saw something. Noah asked her for proof, and she had none. She lied. Lana's eyes widened. "I didn't lie," she said, clutching her chest. "I saw what I saw." Noah spoke, calm and clear. "Lana," he said, "you said you saw messages. Then you said you saw a notification. Then you couldn't remember the name. That's not proof. That's not concern. That's gossip." Lana turned to Mum immediately. "See," she said, voice shaking. "He's attacking me." Noah didn't raise his voice. "I'm not attacking you," he said. "I'm describing what happened." Dad finally spoke from his chair, expression hard. "Why are you stirring up drama in this family?" he demanded. At Noah, not Lana. I felt my stomach drop because this was familiar. The person who calls out the behavior gets blamed for the discomfort. The behavior itself stays unpunished. I looked at my dad and said, Lana accused me of cheating. That's not drama. That's an accusation. And she did it with no evidence. Mom's eyes filled with tears. Families forgive, she whispered, like forgiveness was a leash too. I took a slow breath. My hands were cold. I'm not forgiving someone who tried to destroy my relationship because she can't stand not being the center, I said, and my voice shook at the end, but I didn't take it back. Lana's face twisted. You think you're better than me? She spat. No, I said. I think I'm done being your target. That was the day the dynamic shifted. Not because my parents suddenly understood. Spoiler, they didn't. But because Noah saw the whole machine up close. He saw how Lana provoked, how Mom enabled, how Dad blamed the wrong person. And he didn't flinch. He didn't run. He didn't tell me it was too much. On the drive home, Noah said quietly, You grew up in that. I stared out the window, swallowing hard. Yeah, I said. I did. Noah reached over and squeezed my hand. You don't have to keep living in it, he said. That sentence didn't fix everything, but it planted something in me. Over the next months, Lana kept trying. She sent fake apologies through relatives. She tried to corner me at family events. She posted vague things online about betrayal and snakes. She tried to paint Noah as a villain because if she could make him the problem, she didn't have to face that she was the problem. But something had changed. Noah never gave her the reaction she wanted. He didn't fight her. He didn't beg for her approval. He didn't act intimidated. He just treated her like what she was, noise. And because Noah wasn't reacting, Lana started slipping. She got messy, She contradicted herself. She told different versions of the story to different people. Eventually, even my cousin, who usually sides with Lana because it's easier, said to me quietly at a barbecue, I don't think Lana actually saw anything. Noah didn't gloat. He didn't say I told you so. He just kept showing up, steady. He supported me through the weird grief of realizing your sister doesn't want you happy if she can't control it. Then, 3 weeks ago, Noah proposed. Not in some flashy public way. Not with an audience Lana could hijack. He did it in our apartment on a quiet Friday night. He cooked dinner, pasta, garlic bread, salad. Then he washed dishes with me like he always does because he doesn't believe chores are helping. They're just life. After dinner, he turned off the TV, sat beside me on the couch, and said, I want us to be a family that feels safe. My throat tightened instantly because he knew what that word meant to me. Safe wasn't something I associated with family. He took my hand, and his fingers were warm and steady. I can't promise life won't be messy, he said, but I can promise that I will always ask for proof before I believe someone else's story about you. I started crying then quietly because it hit so deep it almost hurt. When he opened the ring box, I couldn't even speak at first. I just nodded like my body answered before my mouth caught up. Now we're engaged. And the funniest part is that Lana is furious. She found out through Instagram because I posted a photo of my hand holding Noah's, the ring visible but not screamed about. Within an hour, Mom called with that tight voice she uses when she's trying to sound calm. So she said, You're engaged. I said, yes. There was a pause, and then she said, Lana is devastated you didn't tell her first. I almost laughed. Mom, I said, Lana tried to convince Noah I cheated with no proof. Mom sighed like I was being difficult. She was worried. She repeated, like it was a spell that erased accountability. I said, I'm not building my future around Lana's feelings. Mom started crying again. Dad texted about family unity. Lana messaged Noah from a new number. Yes, really, and wrote, Hope you know what you're marrying into. She's not who you think. Noah blocked her without responding. That's the thing that still makes me stop and exhale sometimes. The accusation that could have shattered everything turned into the clearest test of character I've ever witnessed. Lana tried to blow up my relationship with a lie, and Noah didn't swallow it. He asked for proof. He held steady. He refused to play her game. And in doing that, he showed me something I didn't know I needed to see so badly. Love doesn't demand you prove your innocence to someone who wants you guilty. Love doesn't entertain chaos because it's family. Love doesn't make you shrink. So yeah, My sister told my boyfriend I cheated. He asked her for proof. She had none. And now we're engaged. She can keep talking. For once, it's not the loudest voice in my life.